You spend hours learning new German words, and then when you actually need to use them in a conversation, poof, your mind goes blank. Does that sound familiar? Well, you need to know that your memory is not broken. It's just how your brain works. And there is a proven scientific way to remember 95% of what you have learned. In this video, I will show you the science of never forgetting your vocabulary or anything else again. Did you know that your brain forgets around 40% of what you have learned in the first 20 minutes? You close your textbook, make a coffee, and almost half of what you have just remembered is already gone. After one day, you forget around 70%, and after 1 week, up to 90%. So basically, if you spend hours studying today, next week you will only be able to remember a small fraction of it if you are lucky. And it's not because you are lazy or bad at languages, it's just how your brain is designed. It deletes the unused information to save the energy. But here's the thing, it doesn't delete randomly. It follows a certain pattern, almost like a schedule of forgetting. And we know this today thanks to this guy, a German psychologist named Hermann Ebbinghaus. Over 100 years ago, he became obsessed with this one question: how fast do we actually forget? So he did an experiment and discovered what we call today Ebbinghaus forgetting curve. Every single day he tried to remember a long list of nonsense syllables. Those syllables didn't make any sense. He used them to measure the memory loss without emotions or associations getting in the way. And this is what he found. Let's say you have just learned 10 new German words, so you have 100% of the new information in your mind. In just 20 minutes, your brain is going to delete 4 of them. That's 40% gone. Your brain is basically cleaning out short-term memory to make space for new stuff. 1 hour later, you're down to 5 words, so the half of what you have learned is gone. By the next day, you remember only 30% out of hundreds, and after 1 week, you are left with 1 or 2 words if you are lucky. Those are the words that your brain managed to connect to something meaningful for you. And you might think here, well, that's just one guy's weird experiment. It doesn't sound so reliable, does it? But here's the thing. Modern neuroscience has confirmed his results over and over again. So our brains really do follow this forgetting curve when we forget things. I know it sounds kind of discouraging. But actually, this forgetting curve reveals something really important for us, a way to disrupt the forgetting and make the words really stick. Because if you understand how your brain forgets, you can learn in a way it actually remembers. And here's how it goes. As you can see, most of the forgetting happens in the first hour. This is your brain's test phase. It waits to see if you will use the information again. So the trick here is spaced repetition. You need to repeat what you've learned right before your brain decides to throw it away. Ideally, your first repetition should happen in the first 30 minutes after learning something new. This is exactly when your brain starts cleaning up short-term memory. If you review it right then, you are basically telling your brain, this one is important, let's keep it. The second review should happen after 1 hour. The third review happens after 1 day. During sleep, your brain consolidates new information, turning it into more permanent knowledge. The fourth review should happen after 3 days, and the fifth review happens after 1 week. At this point, you have already interrupted the forgetting curve multiple times. The information is now stored in the long-term memory, and you can ideally recall it naturally. And as you can see, each repetition flattens the forgetting curve, so you forget less and you remember longer. This schedule with spaced repetition is the schedule that you can apply when you learn new German vocabulary or anything new, basically. I personally use it now not just for memorizing new vocabulary, but also for memorizing dance choreographies, something that is difficult for me right now, and it really works. Now, from my own experience, I can say that sticking to this schedule perfectly might be difficult, and it's completely fine. Do not stress out about it too much. Even if you review a bit later, that's still far better than not reviewing at all. What matters here is that you come back to the information before it disappears from your mind completely. Also, from my own experience, there are other factors that can influence your memory capacity. And the first one is your physiological state. Things like stress and lack of sleep can make your forgetting curve much steeper. When your body is tired, your brain struggles to create new strong connections. When I had a sleepless night, I can never remember a choreography or any new information that I learned the day before. So taking care of yourself, sleeping enough, eating well, and adding a bit of physical exercise to your day can really make a difference in how much you are able to remember. The second important factor when it comes to remembering new words is meaning and emotion. We forget new information that seems meaningless much faster than things that actually matter to us. So when you are learning new vocabulary, try linking it to a similar word in your native language, or even a small story or association that makes sense to you. Those little connections are what makes memories stick. So I hope you will try this spaced repetition method for a couple of days. Let me know how it goes if you do. Also, let me know in the comments below, how do you feel about remembering new vocabulary and what strategies do you use? I'm really curious to know what works or what doesn't work for you. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.